What is up, everyone? Welcome into Team Stanio Live. My name's Eric Stanio. We are talking all things Cincinnati real estate news and living. Glad you're here. As always, you guys know the drill. If you're watching from online on the live stream, let us know where you're watching from and leave it in the chat. We'll shout you out. If you have any questions tonight, we'd love to hear it. Tonight on the docket, we've got a lot of things to talk about. The Cincinnati MLS has been hacked. Like it's down. Like there has been a cyber attack and it cannot be used right now. So we're going to get into all the details about what that means and why that happened and how do you even do real estate when you don't have an MLS. You can still do real estate. We'll get into that, but it's kind of a weird moment right now. I'm not going to lie. I posted on our Keller Williams Facebook page. Hey, is this like what it was like back in the olden days? Like when you didn't have computers, and you had to like run around with I don't know, magazines or something to sell houses. So a little crazy. We're going to talk about that. We're not going to focus all of our time on that, but we'll give you the update on the news there and what that means for you if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the area. There's a couple other exciting opportunities real estate wise of new construction that's coming out. I want to talk to you guys about that, as well as just some fun other news in the area, some development, some other events that were happening that were fun. As always, like I said, check in, let us know where you're watching from, say hello. Talk to a few of you this week from different places around the country, Chicago, Texas. Even had a conversation with a couple from Colombia, so you guys know who you are. Shout out to you guys. And tomorrow we have a meeting. We're talking with Drees Homes. So they're looking to potentially buy new construction in the area. Drees Homes is an excellent builder. In fact, we're going to talk about them a little bit tonight. I know I've done a lot of videos on Fisher, but I really like Drees Homes as well. And just maybe I need to catch up on doing my videos on those. So like I said, if you're watching, feel free to say hello. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening, wherever you're watching, or I don't know, Monday morning, afternoon, evening, Tuesday. I don't know what time it is. Right now it's live. So let's get into this. I want to give you guys the news on what is going on with this cyber attack. So the cyber attack hits Cincinnati MLS. It shuts out thousands of realtors and home buyers. Now, this was published on August 11th, 2 days ago. As of today, still no MLS. So let's dig into this. Thousands of realtors and home buyers have been shut out of the local housing market for several days after the multiple listing services of Greater Cincinnati's data service suffered a cyber attack earlier this week. Okay, pause real quick. If you don't know what the MLS is, the multiple listing service, it's basically where we input all of the information about any houses that we're buying or that we're selling, any listings that we have. That data then gets syndicated out to the Zillows, the Realtor.coms, the Trulias, whatever real estate website you like to use. You can also get direct, emails. We have probably dozens and dozens, maybe over 100 people in our database where we're sending out emails when new properties hit the portal for their criteria. So the MLS is kind of like it's what every single agent uses to both put up listings and indicate whether a house is for sale or not. So going back into this, now the company that has been hacked is Rapatoni. That's the company we use here in the Cincinnati MLS. California-based Rapatoni, which provides software and data services for more than 100 multiple listing services nationwide. So this is not just relegated here to Cincinnati. There are 100 other MLSs that are hacked right now. They sent out a memo on Thursday to the Cincy MLS and other customers informing them that a deliberate cyber attack had crippled its service. Several other realtors told the Inquirer the cyber attack must have occurred late Tuesday or Wednesday because they haven't been able to use the site for at least the past few days. And guys, like I said, let's see if I can get this a little bigger for you. If you can see this. There we go. I don't know if that helped. Like I said, we're coming up on a week now of this where we haven't had an MLS. That means they haven't been able to list houses for sale, advertise open houses, update listings as sold or pending, or make other changes to listing. Like, does it say pricing? Like if there was a price drop, we can't make those changes right now. So this is impacting me. This is impacting one of my clients who we were going to list a home on Friday. We were entering the listing in on Thursday. We had the photos back. We were going to go active. Like a lot of other agents, you go active on the weekend so you can kind of get the most buyers there. And Can't do it. Can't enter the info into the MLS. Now there are some alternative solutions. We'll get into that, but we kind of told our client, like, because maybe just sit tight right now. Let's see what happens with this thing. See if we can get it back online, because we don't necessarily want to put your listing on the market and not get the maximum amount of eyeballs on it. And we're in just a weird space right now. So we can't list houses for sale. We can't advertise open houses. We can't update listings to mark them as sold or pending, or make price changes on the Cincinnati MLS. I'll continue reading, and then we'll talk about what we can do here. So this is kind of crazy, but we're using social media and word of mouth to tout listings. So meanwhile, potential home buyers, if you guys are watching this and trying to buy a home, you're like, what the heck? Are missing out on new listings in a market that is already short on inventory and highly competitive. Talk about low inventory. We definitely have it now, said Nick Motz of Mott's Real Estate team in the East End. He said, I've got 2 new listings. I'm spreading by word of mouth through social media because we can't get it on the MLS. I've been in the business for 25 years. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, this is weird. The Cincinnati multiple listing service, which serves about 6,000 realtors, was still down early Friday morning. It's Sunday evening. We're still down. Rappattoni said in its memo that it had not yet determined the full extent of the cyber attack and could not provide a timetable for restoring service. Rappattoni is working diligently around the clock, blah, blah, blah. They're working and nothing is happening right now. So our MLS is down. We can't put up new listings. We can't tell you what properties are pending. We can't tell you which properties are sold. So what that means basically is all the real estate websites where you normally look at this data, Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever, all that data is old. It's pulling from the last time they could pull the data, and that house could be still active on the market. That house could be pending. That house could be sold. There could be a price drop. It is not ideal, as we're going to say in real estate terms. Ann Uchtman, president of the Cincinnati MLS, said her organization was exploring other options, including setting up a temporary Facebook group for new listings. This is kind of like bizarro territory, because I got the email as a member of the Cincinnati MLS that said you can sell your listings on a Facebook group. Okay, thanks for that. So I don't know. Realtors are doing that right now. In the meantime, Uchtman said she's hoping to set up a timetable for switching to a new vendor. So that's kind of the big news. And I'm kind of like, what are you waiting for? The MLS service already has a new contract with New York-based Perchwell. So this was already in play. This year, they were like, hey, we're moving to Perchwell. The Cincinnati MLS is kind of old and busted. We're moving to Perchwell, and they were going to do it before the spring season, and then they just didn't get up in time. They didn't get the training rolled out in time, and then they're like, well, it's the busy season. We're just going to wait. Well, now we have no MLS right now, and we're going to move to this new system, Perchwell, but it's like, I think maybe, guys, now's the time to go, because we have no MLS right now. I'm sure it's super complicated. I've worked for a startup before, and I understand that imagine the complexity for developers. I'm sure it's like crazy right now. I don't envy them, but the fact is we would like to have something in place. We feel fortunate that we have a new vendor waiting in the wings. Uchtman said, obviously, it's not an ideal situation to be forced to implement a new system, but it's something we're considering sooner rather than later, since there's no way to know when Rappattoni's system will be back online. Yeah, I think my vote is like, if we have a new system that we can get to, because we got an email, they're like, well, we don't want to put it out there because, people haven't been trained on it yet. Realtors haven't been trained on it. And I'm like, well, I can learn things, and I'd rather have a multiple listing service that I can train on than a zero multiple listing service with no idea of when it's coming back online. So I would imagine they're making their way to shifting over right now, but it's a bit of a cluster right now. Not gonna lie. The MLS services in Northern Kentucky and Dayton, Ohio, use different vendors, and we're not experiencing the same interruptions as the Cincinnati multiple listing service. So that was another idea that was thrown out there. So Cincy has its own MLS. Northern Kentucky has a different MLS. Dayton, Ohio has a different MLS. In fact, I've got one listing that is in Middletown that I listed on both Cincinnati and Dayton. And so a lot of realtors were like, can't we just use the Dayton one? So we're trying to figure it out, but it is a weird time. I mean, I got an email. I won't read all of it, but here's an email I got and 7 hours ago, as of today, that says the opening line says there is still no estimated time frame that Rapatoni will be operational. As the malicious ransom cyber attack on Rapatoni continues to unfold, we are actively working on solutions aimed at ensuring you can continue your real estate activities as effective as possible. So this is me kind of telling you guys like the MLS is down. They're saying like talk to your database. They're kind of making rules a little bit looser right now because this is kind of weird times. Nobody's ever experienced this before. You can still do showing time. You can use this Facebook group. They're thinking about Perchwell. So here's what they said in this email. Our team is diligently working with Perchwell to expedite their implementation. Preparing the system for 8,000 users is a complex task, but implementing Perchwell remains our ultimate goal. So it sounds like they're moving in that direction. Your resilience is commendable, and we remain dedicated to providing you with the tools you need to continue your real estate activities. So bottom line is like, this is weird. You can still buy or sell a house, but the data you're looking at in terms of properties that are on the Cincinnati MLS may or may not be fully up to date. And so basically, if you're interested in a property, you want to buy it, you can reach out to your agent. They'll reach out to the other agent and be like, hey, is it pending or not? Like, is it sold or not? Because what is currently on the MLS or, in all the real estate websites, because they pull that information from the MLS, is the data that was the data last like Tuesday or Wednesday when it got hacked. So this is crazy. And it's happening in 100 different MLSs across the country. So hopefully, my guess is if they are moving to Perchwell, this new system, it's going to be kind of a bumpy road, but I'm sure they're wanting to move over sooner than later. I'm sure if you have a listing on the market right now, there's going to be some bumps in terms of days on market, in terms of, what all of that means and the rules. Can you still list and sell and buy a house? Yes. Can you still buy a house? Yes. I mean, there's certainly properties that are still out there. Can you list it? That's like a little crazy. Yeah. Yes, you can list it, but do you want to list it where it's just going out on your realtor's social media or, an internal realtor Facebook group? Like, it's not the best scenario right now. So if you can delay on a listing right now, I mean, my answer would kind of be like, wait if you can. But that's the news on the MLS. Kind of crazy times. But I want to talk about some other opportunities that we don't necessarily need the MLS for. There is some exciting news I want to share with you guys of some new releases coming. New homes in Mason, Ohio. So Mason, Ohio, as I talk to people who are moving to the area, everyone's like, how do I get in Mason? Not everyone, but a lot of people. Mason's very desirable because, it's a well-designed city. You got Kings Island right there. Lots of restaurants, good shopping, amenities, and really, really good schools. And so a lot of people want to get into Mason. New construction in Mason is a very rare thing. And so I want to read this. What's happening is new homes in Duke's Crossing. I got this message earlier this week. There are 11 home sites in this community and pricing was just released. So there's only 11 home sites. So it's not a lot, but it's like, hey, you could get a new home in Mason. This is rare. So I wanted to bring this to you guys just in case you were interested. 11 home sites in this community with an incredible location in Deerfield Town Center, Sonder Brewing, P&G Mason Business Center, and more. Prices are starting in the 700,000s. Anticipated release is looking like the early to mid-September. So if you have buyers looking in the area and you want to prep for the VIP release, contact Chrissy Sigonolfi. Maybe you guys have seen her on my videos to get that set up. So new homes, 11 sites in Mason, Ohio. It's Fisher Homes Masterpiece Collection, which is their highest end of home styles and pricing. It's at Duke's Crossing in Mason, Ohio. Let me show you guys kind of where this is at on the map. So you're right off of, you're in between exits here. There's a Fields Erdel exit, and in between the Fields Erdel exit and kind of the Kings Island exit, and also the Western Row. This is kind of the Kings Island exit here, Western Row. Duke's Crossing is right here off of Socialville Foster's Road. So I believe it's kind of like right here. Let me try to pull up the satellite. It's hard for me to tell. I think it's this area right here, but I could be wrong on that. So new homes, you're right. Like I said, you're right by Kings Island. You're in Mason Schools. Now, what does a masterpiece collection look like? They're starting in the 700s. This is their largest home, the Paxton at 830, starting at the Pearson at 779. So these homes are. This home is 4,900 square feet, 4 to 6 bedrooms. And then you're going to have a lot of homes in the 3,000 square feet in the 700. So the Stanton, the Beckett, the Leland, the Clay, these are all options you can get in the neighborhood. The Mitchell, the Huxley, the Everett is a ranch home in the Bayberry as well. These are pretty cool floor plans. I like these actually. So wanted to bring that news to you in terms of some new homes that were coming to Mason, Ohio. That's pretty rare. Hey guys, I see some of you watching. Be sure to shout out in the chat where you're watching from. And again, as always, if you have questions or answers while we're on the live stream, would love to answer those for you. If you're thinking of buying or selling in the Cincinnati area, would love to help you out. Here's just a little bit of a look. That's a finished basement in one of the homes. What do these Fisher homes look like? You're getting a lot of open floor plans with Fisher homes, big islands. That's a thing they like. A lot of them don't have a large, it depends on the home. Some of them may have a formal dining room, but a lot of them have just kind of eat-in kitchen where a lot of people do their floor plans. Here's a master suite with a tray ceiling. This is kind of a formal dining room space, it looks like. That looks like a finished basement, another master suite. Fisher Homes does a lot of these 2-story great rooms with a lot of the lighting in there. A lot of people like those. Feels really, once you're in there, it feels like, whoa, really feels grand. So Hakeem Olajuwon, what is up? Sacramento, California. Is this the same Hakeem Olajuwon of the great Houston Rockets teams in 94 and 95? Born in Wilmington. Awesome. Thanks for saying hello, and I'm glad you're watching the channel. So there's one look at homes I wanted to show you guys. One release. Now, that may not be in your price range. I understand. So in the 700,000s is not in everyone's price range. So I wanted to show you guys another release that's coming soon, opposite side of Cincinnati, down in Walton, Kentucky. Now, these are condos that are being released. I wanted to reach, wanted to let you guys know what's happening here at, what is the name of this? Walton Square Condominiums in Walton, Kentucky. So here's kind of the email I got on this one, the update. An exciting opportunity awaits. Get ahead of the game for the Crossings at Walton Square sales release, which is coming out August 25th, 2023. You can register your clients with me now for these condos. They're starting at $160,000. So Mason Homes, Masterpiece Collection, 700,000s, kind of on the other end of the spectrum in terms of new construction. To get to start at $160,000 is incredibly affordable. We very rarely see that. I mean, oftentimes we see condos or patio homes or paired patios in the mid 200s up to like 290 to start, but to start at 160. Now I think that's a 1-bedroom we'll take a look at, but a lot of interest in this new community. As you can imagine, people are going to be interested in this. So if you are interested in a new construction condo, and that's very affordable, right? And I've got a video coming out for Summerline up in Lebanon, Ohio, and their Wembley paired patio home is starting at $290. But these condos are starting at $160. It's the Gallery 2 collection, so you can check this out on the Fisher website. You get to enjoy low maintenance living. They take care of the yard work, the snow removal. Obviously, when you're living in a condo, they're also taking care of the shared living space as well as the roof, so you don't have that to worry about. Your HOA is paying for that. You are minutes off the highway. You're close to Kroger, Kohl's, Starbucks. And I'll show you guys this on the map as well here. Here's what some of these condos kind of look like. You got the Hayward B and C. Let me just jump into here real quick so you guys can see a little bit what these floor plans look like. So your kitchen, they've got kind of the angled island looking out into your dining room and your main living space area. A lot of these will have sliding doors with decks. This is a 2-bedroom, 2 full bath, anywhere from 1469 to 1611 square feet. So that's a look at the Hayward B. And you guys can look at all of these, different floor plans on here. It's kind of fun how they have their virtual tours. But in terms of pricing, that one's at $250, the Hayward C at $236, the Wexner in the 220s and 212s, and the Kimball, which is a 1 to 2 bedroom, 2 bath at 1,100 square feet, is starting at $159,990. So that's where you're getting that 160 price at the bottom. So wanted to bring you guys that spectrum. 2 new opportunities. Again, we're living in a day and age where A, the Cincinnati MLS is not working right now, but B, as we continue to be in low inventory markets, and if you've been out there shopping for a while, you're kind of like, okay, do I want to fight the other buyers? Do I want to do updates on the house of someone who's lived there for 10, 15, 20 more years, 30 years? In terms of price per square foot, if you buy resale, you're going to get more for your dollar. But you also, like I said, you need to factor in what kind of updates are you wanting to do in the house. Make sure you factor that in. And do you want to live in a house that's, maybe has an aging roof, maybe has an aging HVAC? Those expenses are coming at you as well. Again, even with that tallied in, I think you're going to get price per square foot. You're going to get more for your money on a resale home. But if you're like, no, I don't want to fight the low inventory, multiple offer kind of thing with other buyers. I want to go new construction and I got time to wait. I'm going to plan ahead and I'm going to build and buy the design that I want. Well, a couple cool options here in Mason. You got 11 home sites coming soon, Masterpiece Collection, and down here, Walton, Kentucky. So just to show you guys on the map, if you're not from the area where we're talking, we're down in Boone County, and where most of the development, let me see if I can get this satellite layer here so you guys can get a feel of where, it's kind of hard to see, but in northern Kentucky, you've got kind of the river cities of Cincinnati and Newport where, there's a lot of residential living there, a lot of residential all the way back. You've got the airport is up in northern Boone County, kind of tucked by Hebron here, between Hebron and Burlington. South of there, you've got Florence, Kentucky. And I was just helping a client who's here from California this week. I was trying to say, go here, go here, go here, because you're trying to get a lay of the land. And I understand if you're, looking to move to the area, that's one of the hardest things to do. So I'm trying to bring you those videos and give you guys a feel for what is it like being in this area. So Florence has been really built up. This Florence is where I moved to. My family did 35 years ago now. It was 1988. So when I was a kid, we moved down. And there was a lot of development in Boone County because the airport was kind of booming. And I think for a while, Boone County was the fastest growing county in the nation. And so you've got, Florence, Burlington, Hebron, and into Union, all of that built up. And now since that's kind of built out, where a lot of that development is going now is kind of pushing further south. So Richwood, so the south end of Union and Richwood, Independence, Alexandria in northern Kentucky, and down in Walton, Kentucky. And where the reason why I would say probably a lot more of it goes into Boone County than Kenton or Campbell is you got the interstate. And so access to the interstate gives you that quick speed back into downtown if you're working downtown, or if you just want to get into downtown quicker. And so where the crossings at Walton here is just past, if you're heading south, the I-71, I-75 split. So 71 heads towards Louisville, Kentucky. And then you've got this, the Walton exit right here. In fact, this is right near where my kid's school is going to be. So crossings at Walton Square, that's where these condos are coming out. Starting at 160 up to 250, 1 to 2 to 3 beds, I want to say, or maybe it's just 2 bedrooms. Yeah, there's can't get the 3-bed option, but the Hayward can get up to 1611 square feet, which is nice. So that's to orient you a little bit. And then just to show you where we were, just to zoom out here so you guys get a feel for Cincinnati, northern Kentucky. The Mason area we were talking about, the new homes is right on the other side of town, right off I-71, and it was right off this road right here. Okay, so same thing where when you see a lot of new construction and development going north, it's going to tend to be off of the I-71, I-75 exit, because that's where you got your quickest access to get back downtown. We have shown some others in the Hamilton area and Harrison as well, but you kind of see the spread overall in the region, going up the interstates towards Dayton, towards Columbus on the north side of Cincinnati, and heading south in Boone County, kind of down I-71 is where you're seeing some new construction. So that's the news for you on the Fisher side. Now, I did want to pop over tonight, and because a lot of people ask about Drees homes, and I'm just going to do a quick spotlight and then give some other news that's coming that you guys might be interested in. I'm just breaking all kinds of news tonight, but I'm not getting any interaction. You guys, let me know if you have questions. Would love to hear from you again. Let us know where you're watching from. If you have any questions about the area that I can help with, please. Now's your chance. Okay. I've done a lot of videos on the channel. You guys may have seen about Fisher homes. I've done less about Drees homes. Fisher is the number one, the largest home builder in Cincinnati area. Drees is right behind them at number 2. They both build really good products. In fact, I get a lot of times buyers that I talk to who've gone with Drees, or when they're looking, they tend to like Drees's finishes just a little bit more. I think in terms of creativity, maybe on the architectural design, Fisher might have a slight edge there. And then maybe on the finishes and upgrades you can get, Drees might have a slight edge there. They're both production builders. They both build quality homes. If you search hard enough, you're going to find bad reviews on both of them online. And that's going to happen. But realize that they sell a lot of homes. I've got a friend who actually works for Fisher Homes, and me, who've kind of come from the internet. Myself, I've come from the internet marketing background where like Google reviews like really matter. And I'm like, hey, you guys don't have like a ton of good, like you got a lot of, you're like in the 3s. And it's like, yeah, like we don't care. It wasn't like that flippant, but it was like they have the demand because they have the presence here long enough that they're like, people are going to leave bad reviews, which is kind of silly to me, because I'm like, man, if you sell so many houses, how easy is it to just go get a Google review from someone and get that rating higher? But I did want to focus on Drees here a little bit and just show you one of their homeowner spotlights. I thought it was interesting. You see this beautiful family, the Engel family, who bought a Drees home. But it points out a few things that I think are interesting if you are thinking of new construction, that I wanted to point out. So after house hunting and exploring the resale market for 2 years, the Engel family decided to explore a new home to build. And that's, I get that. Like if you've been, well, I'll keep reading here, but like there's a reason why you might want to pay that little bit of premium on the price per square foot for new construction. They talk about it here. While they loved the house they lived in for 13 years, so they weren't moving into the area. They're a family that lived in the area. They had a house here for 13 years, but they needed more room to stretch and grow. They had 2 growing girls, 2 growing dogs. They're working from home. So that's another piece of it, right? A lot of people now are working from home. It was a lot easier when you could go into the office every day. But now with so much remote work, you're like, I need that dedicated office space that's like away from the kids and the dogs and this kitchen. And I get it. So that a lot of people, and that's where a lot of these home designs are coming in. It's like, here's the office. It's really important. So they were working from home. Their current home was no longer cutting it, although they couldn't find the perfect match on the market. Husband Nate shared either the house was not the right size or it needed numerous updates. We didn't want the headache of renovating a house after moving in or sacrificing more space that we desperately needed. So building new was the ultimate answer. So if that's you and you're living locally, I am not sharing with you guys this article. Sorry. And you're like, oh, I'll show you guys this lovely family that I mentioned. Yeah, you're like, okay, I have to fight the buyer's market. I can buy a home, but the layout might not be just how I want it. Then I have to do the flooring and the paint and the backsplash and the counters, and I have to redo the master bathroom. And it's like, or I could start from scratch and build the house, the floor plan that I want, maybe pay a little bit more, but it's got what I want. That's kind of the decision I think people are making, and where it makes sense if you're on the edge of buying from new, why you might want to do that. The Engel family set out to build their dream house, and along the way, they decided to document their journey on Instagram. And here's their beautiful daughter. So that's one thing you get in the journey of building a new house is the excitement from the kids and seeing it come to life. And you got all this space in it. And so that's a fun thing. I think that is something you don't necessarily get when you're buying a resale. To shed more light on their journey, Nate and Kaylin sat down to share insights on their home building process. So thought this might be helpful for a few people out there. What floor plan did you choose and what attracted you to the design? We chose the Alden because we fell in love with the 2-story fireplace, the open kitchen and living area, and the extra game room space that is a perfect hangout room for our girls and their friends. As you've watched your new home's design come to life, what have been your favorite features? We love catching the sunsets off our covered deck. The green tile backsplash in the kitchen is a great conversation piece. So I'm not going to go through all of this. You get to do the design center. They got this cool photo shoot with their family that I guess Drees did for them. What advice would you give others who are interested in buildings? Ask questions. If there's a design choice or feature you've admired in other homes, bring it to the table. Also, visit as many model homes as you can to get a feel for the finishes in real life. I think those are great tips. Ask questions. I think Drees will do some custom. Most of these production builders won't do a lot of changes because they're just trying to crank out the homes like really quickly. I think Drees will do some customizations on that. And some of the floor plans, when you look online, whether it's Fisher or Drees, or others, they have some options. Like, do you want a 4th bedroom upstairs or do you want it 3 bedrooms and a loft? Stuff like that. But definitely ask questions. Now they say they mentioned to go visit the models. I say this over and over again, and I know I'm a real estate agent and I'm trying to make money. So, you guys can crush me for that, whatever. But if you go to a model home first without a buyer's agent who's with you, Drees or Fisher or anyone else, they're going to register you as a client in their system. And they're going to say, who's your real estate agent? And you're going to say, I don't have one. And they're going to say, do you need one? And you'll be like, I don't know. Do I? And they'll be like, no. And I don't know. They might not be that mean. But the point is, a buyer's agent, whether you're buying a resale home or new construction home, typically with most new construction companies in the area, they're going to pay that 3% for the buyer's agent for you. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't mean your house is more expensive or anything like that. Now, in some of the smaller custom home builders, it might, and sometimes they try to edge out the realtors, not going to lie. The larger Fisher and Drees and MI Homes, they don't do that because they want agents like me to bring you guys to them, right? Which is what I'm doing right now. But my point is, whether it's me or someone else, you can have a whole agent, you can have the agent working for you. You get the best of both worlds. You get an agent who can kind of help you ask questions, help you think through resale value, talk about that basement. Should you finish it? Should you not? How does that affect resale? Like, what about the neighborhoods? You get all the benefits of having an agent on your side that you would have anyway. Plus, you get the sales rep of Drees Homes or Fisher Homes or MI Homes, and they kind of work together. But your agent represents you. That's their job. And they're getting paid by the builder. Whereas if you only go to the model home first and don't have an agent on your side, that sales rep works for the builder only, right? So they're going to help you, but they're trying to sell you a home, and they're not a fiduciary agent to you like a realtor is. So that's just my soapbox. I have to say it all the time when I do new construction. And I would love to help you guys out with that. So please feel free to reach out if you're thinking new construction. So, okay. Why did you choose to build with Drees? We walked through a model home after house hunting for 2 years, and all the finishes and features were exactly what we were looking for. And then they said, but the sales rep really did it for us. So way to go, Holly Anderson. And that's what I hear. Like I said, I've sold a lot of Fisher homes. I've sold a lot of Drees homes, but I do hear sometimes that clients are like, I want the higher end finishes. And you can get those in both, but some people just like Drees a little bit more, just a skosh. They both build good products. So it's not, it's really what you want to get there. So, okay. Breaking news. So more from home from Drees. So you guys can check out where they're building. You can find more stories of families like this, where they have testimonials, which is kind of cool. They do. I wanted to show you guys their locations where they are building right now. Alexandria, Independence, Triple Crown and Union and Walton area as well. Hebron, why is this? What am I doing? What's going on here? Hebron, Rivers Point Estates. We've got a few videos out there. Thornwild, and then over in Cincinnati, they've got some in the Anderson area, Withamsville, Woods of Magnolia Trace, up in Springvale area, Villages of Belmont, Loveland, Mason, Westchester is where they're building. Now, breaking news is I was driving from my house in Fort Thomas down to Kroger Marketplace in Newport today. And I knew they'd been doing some development on this little street off of Chesapeake for a while, but I didn't know who was going in there. And today I saw a sign that Drees Homes is coming in. And I'll show you exactly where it was. And they're in Fort Thomas. So 2 breaking news tonight, which is 2 of the most sought after school districts in the Cincinnati area. Mason schools on the Ohio side and Fort Thomas schools on the Kentucky side have some new construction options coming soon. Now, I don't have all the information, and it's not even on the website. So you guys, this is why you subscribe to the Clan Yo to get the good stuff here. But it was right off of, there's this little cut through. Where are we? Where am I? There's this little cut through off of Highland Avenue, down Newman, right here, down Newman, down past the Via Grande houses. Fisher Homes has some houses right there, where you get over to the Newport, Kentucky marketplace right here. And it was right off of Newman. That I used to live here. Had a little condo or duplex there. Bought a duplex with my wife. House hacked it. Right here, right off of right here, I believe. Let me look at this map. It is, yeah, Chesapeake. Yeah, right between Jennifer. Oh no, right here. Sorry, right south of Jennifer Court. So they've got some home sites going in right here. Again, that's not going to be a lot of home sites. My guess is going to be just like the Mason one, kind of like 11 to 15, maybe home sites in there would be my guess, maybe 20. But it was called, I want to say it was called like Catesy Creek or something like that. But that should be Fort Thomas schools. Not sure yet. But again, there's a little breaking news for you guys. Adam from Norwood, what is up? Good to have you here. Do you ever foresee Dayton and Cincinnati becoming a giant megalopolis? I wouldn't put it past the possibilities of things that could happen. And the reason why is if you drive to Dayton, there's a couple of pit stops where things are kind of being built right now. One of them is Middletown, Ohio. The other one is the what is it right off this Springboro exit? I'm trying to remember the name of it. That's not it. Austin Landing. It's one exit up right there. And so it's kind of happening, right? Slowly but surely. I mean, you look, Middletown's kind of built out here. Lebanon is where Fisher Homes has been building around Shaker Run Golf Course. And so, yeah, I mean, I could see it. And then you've got, Columbus is not too far away, and they're building their big mega Intel chip plant on the south side of Columbus. And so, now will it be like LA? No, I don't think so. But that's where the room is. I mean, and that's my guess is between, that's where all the development has been going the past several years, is kind of north side of town, Mason, and from Dayton, a lot of it's happening on the south side of town, right? And it makes sense. There's business connections. You kind of get to draft off each other in some way. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Adam? Do you think it will happen? I think in a sense it's kind of happened a little bit right now, but I guess depends on your definition of megalopolis, but that's a good question. Appreciate you asking that. All right. I've got a few more articles I think I'm going to share, just some fun stuff. And if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll wrap it up for the night. But if you want to get a question in, make sure you get it in within the next few minutes. Cincinnati hosted Red Bull Flugtag at Sawyer Point this weekend at Yeatman's Cove. I think I said Yeatman once, and somebody like yelled at me on YouTube. They're like, "It's Yeatman's. Do you even live here?" And I was like, "Geez, okay, sorry. I thought it was Yeatman's." But here's a picture of what that looked like. Thousands descended upon Sawyer Point at Yeatman's Cove in downtown Cincinnati on Saturday, August 12th, which was my parents' 51st anniversary. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad, if you're watching. And yeah, how fun is this, right? Let's go through this. Named after the German word for flying day, Red Bull Flugtag has pushed people's creativity to the limit for over 30 years. The event has been held almost every year for 3 decades in more than 50 countries and hosted 9 million spectators worldwide. Roughly 40 teams took leaps of faith in their homemade flying devices. The teams of 5 people created flying machines over the last several months. So awesome. Each aircraft has 1 pilot. She's holding her nose. Meanwhile, the remaining 14 members, dubbed the push team, have to do the long fall into the river. This is such a good event. And while the goal is to fly, sorry. Okay, thanks, Siri. Teams ultimately end up in the Ohio River. So good. The judges included former Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Chad Johnson was a judge. That's amazing. Ocho Cinco. He's amazing. By the way, first preseason game, no serious injuries. Happy to see that. Joe Burrow threw before the game, was like running a little bit. All signs trending towards him being there for the start of week 1. Very excited about that. Chad Johnson was a judge. Jessica Demon, a Cincinnati drag queen. Chloe Pavlik, Cincinnati native and content creator. Nick Goper, freestyle skier and 3-time Olympic gold medalist. And Kale Storage, a TikTok content creator and DJ. So, some pretty cool people. Before taking the plunge, teams were required to perform a little skit scored by the judges. Competitors ultimately were judged on 3 criteria: flight distance, creativity, and showmanship. Parachutes with Red Bull branded gear landed on the barge to start the event. Oh, I think I wonder if that's what I saw. I was definitely driving and saw some parachuters come down this weekend. But no, that must have been somewhere else because that was further north. Several Cincinnati companies were represented in the Red Bull Flugtag, including the Kroger Company. Kroger's cart hit the water with a mighty splash. Splash on aisle 3. Clever. After crashing into the Ohio River, Cincinnati Giants Kroger shopping cart themed craft went belly up. Are these real groceries? I don't think so. Looks like plastic stuff. Kroger didn't just participate in the event. The grocery giant also had its own booth. So there you go. UDF was dishing out ice cream. The river itself proved to be the best seat in the house for the big event. So people were out there on the river. Boaters were out in full force to witness the teams jump. So a fun day in Cincinnati. Look at that old riverboat. BB Riverboats provided spectators a great viewpoint. The Clay Wade Bailey Bridge, which connects Newport to, kind of just east of Great American Ballpark over by, what's it called? The Heritage Bank Arena. It's been changed to a lot of things. Look at all those people lined up there. That's awesome. Packed with viewers. The homemade aircraft were launched off a 22-foot high flight deck. May We Help, a Cincinnati nonprofit that helps those with disabilities. I know these people. Named its glider Flight for Your Right to Party. A Rheingeist themed glider launches off the end of the deck. There were plenty of creative touches beyond the aircraft themselves. Hundreds of spectators. So, fun day down at the river. Cincinnati's awesome. You got to love that. And one other thing I wanted to mention to you guys before checking out is $150 million district at Deerfield development signs a high-end Columbus restaurant, 101 beer kitchen. So always excited to see large developments and great restaurants come into town. A high-end Columbus gastropub from a husband and wife tag team plans to expand into Warren County. And this is actually kind of near, circling back to the Duke Crossing by Fisher Homes. It's kind of in that area. 101 beer kitchen will open in the $150 million district at Deerfield after construction wraps up next year, joining two previously announced restaurants in Thunderdome's restaurant groups, Bakersfield and Eagle. So I've probably talked about these before. I think I talked about them on the OTR video, but Bakersfield and Eagle are staple restaurants in Over the Rhine that are awesome. I've always enjoyed those. Bakersfield for tacos and margs, and Eagle for that amazing fried chicken with the hot honey sauce. Oh, it's so good. And like a $2 giant, Miller High Life, I think they serve there, as well as 50 West Brewing Company campus and Pins Mechanical. So that's exciting to see. Always like to see great restaurants and develops coming in. And this is district at Deerfield. Let's see if I can get this on a full. Let's get this over here on the map just so you guys can see it. So again, we're back in the Mason-ish area, Deerfield Township, kind of south of Mason here, district at Deerfield. So I'm guessing you got a Whole Foods nearby, Walmart, Condado. So nice big development here, and always good to see great new restaurants coming in town. So this is, when you're getting, again, and I mentioned the Mason homes coming in. The nice thing about Mason too is you don't have to go into downtown for great restaurants, right? You've got a lot of things happening up there. Yes, it's the burbs. Yes. But you've got some pretty solid restaurants and great shopping up there where you don't need to swing all the way downtown to get to. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. I really very much hope that our MLS is up soon. But I appreciate you guys watching. As always, if you don't mind, before you jet off here, if you haven't already, click the like button so that this will be sent out to more people who are looking to move to the Cincinnati area. This usually helps them a lot. But if you live in the Cincinnati area and you want to join the clan, hey, we'd love to have you here. And if you're thinking about selling your house, we can help with that too, or moving, or doing new construction with Fisher Homes or Drees or MI Homes or another custom home builder. We can help. So appreciate you guys watching. Click that like button, subscribe, join the Janyo clan. How many rhymes? So we got this. So I have a weird last name, right? This is where this comes from. SZTANYO. Imagine yourself in elementary school every single year. We're back to school mode. First day of school, teacher's going through it alphabetically, and you're just sitting there and it's coming. She can't do it. He can't do it. Like, they're going to butcher the name. And it just kind of just gets in you, right? It just kind of wears on you. And you're like, you get the Stanzio, you get the Cizitanio, which I've always appreciated people trying to sound out the S and the Z. You get the Steinios, that you get the Eric with the pause, like as they're just like paralyzed with fear on like how they don't know. So branding expert that I am, I'll give credit to my high school friends because my nickname in high school was Stanyo the Manyo. It stuck, and they just called me Manyo, and it was easy. You take out the Z, you got the Manyo. But on the channel, what we've done is talk about my Stanyo Vanyo, because my family, we've got 5 kids and we doubled down. We got 2 Honda Odysseys. So we got Stanyo Vanyo thing 1 and thing 2, I guess. And then when you join the channel, you're part of the Stanyo Clanyo. So, hey, we do all we can to try to make this weird name make sense. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are working with us, keep working with us. If you're not, reach out. We'd love to help you guys with all your real estate needs. And we'll see you next week. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is.